Hello? Let's see if people are finding me okay. Welcome Connie and Kathy and Joanne and Diane. Welcome, welcome. I'm going to wait about 30 more seconds and then we'll get started. All right. So welcome. I can see Patsy just joined us. All right. So we'll get started, people. Thank you so much. And Donna, welcome. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. I know it's getting cloudy out there, and we may get some boom booms. If we happen to lose connection, I will not come back on. We'll just, I'll figure something out. I'll post the pictures and the somewhat recipes tomorrow, but just in case. Oh, you're welcome, Connie. I actually shared your story today, my team meeting. So this is the host code. We have just a couple more days to use it. Everybody that places an online order using the host code, or if you're one of my Paper Pumpkin customers, your name will go into a drawing for one of these packages of sort of Christmassy paper. This is Christmas, and then this is all of the plaid one that we had a while back. Brand new packages. So, and then I think that's all I have for housekeeping stuff this time around. Short and sweet, huh? My style. So, just in case you don't know my name is Corinne Sandin. I do teach stamping and scrapbooking. And I've been doing it for a long time. I have some exciting news, though. I did post on my business page, but just in case you didn't see it, I have worked out some dates. Not all of them are 100% confirmed, but pretty close to it. We will have some paper crafting and scrapbooking days in the fall. So did everybody have a good day today? I hope you all did something fun. I know some of you still work, but some of us got to create. I know Connie did. She made some beautiful posters and cards. I actually made some cards too today. I had my sisters over for lunch. And then, of course, this afternoon we had our staff, my team meeting. Oh, sorry, I'm on the monitor and it beeps. I have a continuous glucose monitoring now, and so it beeps when it wants me to check. So tonight we're going to play with the Handsomely Suited bungo. And I did use some of the paper that will be retiring in just a few days. So this is card number 1. One of my sons, one of my sons had a red and black and white checkered shirt like this. Wore the thing out. I mean, the buttons fell off and the whole bit. And then my other son is a black t-shirt kid. So I wanted to make one just in case some people did not have the dies. You could create this one very easy with just using some circle punches in a square or whatever. So I'm going to show you how I did these two, and then at the end I have a couple more surprises. I sell stuff at a local shop here, and I made some really cute, simple Father's Day projects that I'd like to share with you. So let's get started. So we're going to do the checkered one first. So as you can see, I did die cut some of the buttons. This comes with little buttons, a little button die. And everything here that you can see, bow ties, ties, suspenders, pockets, the clasp for your suspenders, the collar, the little slit that you have, you know, that adjusts your suspenders, and so on. A little tip I have learned over making these, that I put 2 buttons together. I think one does not show it enough, so I just cut a double set and then I layer them on top of each other. And I just used the mini glue dots like you can see here. So very basic, pretty simple, straightforward. 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Can't see the entire card. Okay, so let's see if we can bring this up a little bit. I don't know what's going on tonight. So, do we want to go backwards? Let me play with this just a minute. Nope, that's too fast. So let me bring this down a little bit more. It is going to autofocus. Close your eyes just for a minute, people. See if I can bring this up a little. Is that any better? Oh, it doesn't seem to be. Okay, let's see how that is. Better, worse? I'm sorry, people. I'm trying. Oh! Looks like we're in the frame now. Okay. Oh. Don't get... This is a good way to get drunk without having to drink. Okay. Let's keep trying just for another minute. I don't know what's going on here. That's so strange. I don't think I moved anything. Oh, Facebook. The challenges of Facebook. Okay, looks like we're good. Okay, let's keep trying to go this way. Is that better? Okay. I know, yeah, but it's kind of like the opposite of what you think. So when you want to come down, you almost have to move this up. So is this better? Can somebody give me a thumbs up? Good. Okay. So we're going to do this plaid card first. So 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. So the shirt layer, I made it the same as my card front. So 5.5 by 4 1/4. And then I did make little pockets for inside, so if you wanted to put a gift card, which these are going to be for my son, so I will be giving them a coffee card probably. You need a little piece of the blush for the skin tone. This is my pocket. Okay, so you can see my collar. So let's get started. So what I like to do first, I'll show you my little trick. Everybody has little tricks up their sleeves. You get the big pop-ups. They seem to work a little. Nope, small ones. There we go. So I'm going to put a couple of big pop-ups here first. Then I want to find the center of this. So I'm using my grid paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we want it to be something like that. I'm going to put this on first, and I'll show you why after. So I'm going to make this even with that dark line right there. I know, you know, I'm going to explain something about Facebook when I'm all done. Okay, so I put this on first so that I can take my scissors and cut that out. It's a little bit easier than trying to work with the die. Okay, so now I can put this on using my favorite glue. A little bit of Tombow. Because the odds of cutting that piece with the die to match your collar is probably slim to nothing. So welcome. I see a few more people have joined us. Nancy and Tammy and Pat. Then I need to slide in my little piece here. This is just a piece of scrap. I should have probably put it on first, but I didn't. So I'm just going to stick it in and cut it. Just take a piece of your scrap right out of your scrap bin. That's all I did. I keep a whole bin next to me with little pieces. Then you can trim it. Oops, make sure I'm not cutting my collar. You trim it off here, and then I can open it up. So there's that. Now this is intended for suspenders or the trim of your shirt, which is what I like to use it for. I'm just putting some Tombow down the back of it. And I'm going to line it up. So what's nice about the plaid paper, it's easy to do that. Checkered paper, I should say. Put some Stampin' Dimensionals behind my pocket. Into my, I gotta wipe my hands, I got glue all over them. There. So this little piece here is just a piece of scrap, and I like to actually make a pocket. So this pocket is about 4 inches by 2 1/4. So then I just score a 1/4 of an inch, a 1/4 of an inch, and a 1/2 an inch on the bottom to create that pocket. Now some people like to use just glue the edges, and you can certainly do that. It's your choice. So I wanted to put a little bit of this as well across the top, give it a little finished look. Let me put a piece of this heavy tape. We all have our own brand that we like. Stampin' Ups is great. I was all out of it, so I had to use another brand. Now there is stitching on this, so this sort of is a right side and a wrong side. So then I'm going to trim this. Burnish this just a little bit. I like to use a combo sometimes of heavy duty and wet glue. And this is one of those cases. Oops, one little drop there. Open up my card. I want a little border at the bottom. And then I use that same die to, I stamp my words. This Happy Father's Day is from an old retired set. Let me see. Oh, right here. Some of you may have this one. The best dad ever. Hold that down just for a minute. Welcome Nancy St. Pierre and Monty and Pat. Make sure I cut this straight. Make sure this is straight. A little bit more here. You can put it up here. I'm going to put it this time down here. Now I need to put my buttons on. Let me get my pickup tool. Yeah, it's so funny. One of the boys always wore these kind of shirts, and my other one always wore black t-shirts. I used to call it his uniform, you know, blue jeans and black. So I like to put an odd number. So we can cut a little piece of this for our pocket. I hate to waste anything. I'm just going to cut it in half. You could cut another pocket if you wanted to and just cut that off. But I just had some of that left over, so that's what I'm using. Tiny drops of glue. Alright, so this card, this one I made longer, but if you wanted it short like a golf shirt, I did this on purpose so you could see how you can make many different versions. So this is using the whole strip, and then this is cutting it. And then this is our black t-shirt one. So which one do you like better? I call it the golf shirt or the shirt? Let me clean this up. Does anybody have a preference on which one they like better? The shirt. Yeah, I call this a golf shirt, and I call this a shirt. You know, they were like cottony. The golf shirt. Cute. That's what's so nice about this suite of products. There's so much you can do with it. Remember last week I did the graduation cards. So this is a similar one. Looks like I didn't score my card. Let me get my cutter out. Alright, so I'm going to score this at 4 1/4 using the light one, the one that matches your cutter. Here's the cutting one. A little trick that I showed you guys a couple of weeks ago. Line it up so that it's in the groove here and here. Come back like a T. Normally you don't get those little, you know how sometimes it just doesn't line up right? Or if you've scored it and it doesn't line up right, try that trick. Okay, so this is exactly the same. So this is, again, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I embossed it just to give it a little bit of texture. You know how t-shirts is, has a little texture to it. So I ran it through the Tasteful Textile embossing folder. And then I want to grab a punch. I'm going to grab a 1/2 inch punch, and I'm going to eyeball it. Okay. So this one, I use dies, but if you don't have dies, you could use 2 punches, or you could take 2 circles. So I use the stitch shape labels. I know they're discontinued. I use the second, the third, and the second. Whichever way you go, it'll come out that way. So let's put a little bit of wet glue behind this. And again, it does not matter how big your circle, you know what I mean? You can make your neck deeper or smaller, whichever you want. And I'm just going to hold that there just for a second to stick. Oh no, Ronnie says she hears thunder. Yeah, it's very dark out. I'm going to trim this off. Then again, I have just a scrap of this. I'm going to line that up at the top. Put that on my card base. And if you use the same color and it's not cut exactly right, it's going to be okay, because they're not going to be able to see it because the card bases. Some of you might think you're hearing thunder, but you're really hearing Pearl chewing her bone. She's right on my heel. I can feel her breath. Silly girl. So this one, a lot of you have this stamp set. It's from the Geared Up Garage. Right here. And again, I made the pocket. And I'm going to score it so you can see what I was talking about. So again, it's just a little piece of scrap I had. Let's see what it measures. Yep, 2.5. Looks like 4. So I'm going to score it at 1/4 inch on each side, and about 1/2 inch on the bottom, just to give it a little bit more, you know, for the friction of the gift card. So let me put this down first. So you should have a nice black frame all the way around it. Alright, so we're going to fold this on the score mark. Now to cut down on some of the bulk, I'm going to bring this up. Hopefully you can see it. Let me wait a second. You can see where I folded these. Can you see how I'm cutting this at an angle? At a 90-degree angle. The same here. So it creates a miter corner, basically, is what I'm doing. You know, I do feed Pearl, honest to gosh, people. She's chewing that bone like it's her last supper. Alright, so again, I want a little bit of the white to show. Whoop. Tuck that in. Tuck this one in. So there's my inside. So like I textured another pocket, and then I wanted to show you what I was talking about. If you don't want to use your scraps, you can cut another pocket and cut just below that stitching. Line it up at the top. And then I wanted the pocket to not be pointed, because you know how on a t-shirt it's not rounded and it's not square, so I just cut a little bit of this off. So to me that looks more like a t-shirt pocket. I'm going to attach it to the back of this just because I don't have anything to do with this, and it just makes where this has been embossed, it's kind of weak. So it just stabilizes it a little bit better. Hold that down for a minute while I grab some pop-ups. So many of you know that I have done craft fairs in the past, but with the passing of my husband, it's a lot of work. I've decided to give it up. But I do, oh, look what I did, people. How many of you have done that? I put it on the wrong side. I'll fix it tomorrow. It's okay, it can be fixed. Here's my pocket. But I do sell stuff at my beautician's office. Shop, I should say. So this is what it's supposed to look like. I'll fix that one. So she's always looking for cute little things. So I took a bottle of peanuts, a jar of peanuts, and I turned them into a shirt. Here's that one. And then here's a Hawaiian one. And then on the top of them, this one has it, but I haven't done that one. I just printed something off the computer. Then I also made, let me move those out of the, I'll keep one so you can see it. I also made, you know me, I'm famous for my popcorn wraps. So I did the same thing. I took some of the designer series paper and some items from that and made popcorn wraps. So let me see if I can get all of this stuff in so you can see it. Yes, I love the t-shirt one. So when you are purchasing products, try to think, what else can I use this for? I always have a rule with myself when I'm looking through the catalog. I have to be able to know that I can make 6 things with it relatively quickly. And it's pouring here. I just looked out the window. So this is my projects for this week. Next week we're going to hit weddings and a shower card. So I do have an eye appointment on Wednesday. I'm not too sure how it will be. So I'm going to pre-tape the video in case I'm not feeling well, and I'll upload it so that it will go on as a regular scheduled time. So if you have any questions, I will post about the cards tomorrow, how to make them. It's pretty easy, people, and it's a great way to use up you know, little pieces of paper that you have. And thank you so much for joining me, everybody. I'm always happy to see you. I always appreciate all of the support. Let me talk a little bit about Facebook. Facebook is always changing things. I know that they change things because they're, in theory, they're trying to improve things. And I'm sure they are, but as a person like me, or the average person, sometimes it's not as easy to be accommodating. So they send us notices when they aren't pleased about some of the stuff we do. So next week I have to try something and see how it goes. I'm going to create the event like I always do. Please select that you're going to the event, because they want me to do the Facebook Live in the event. So for those of you that came to my team meeting today, that's how we did it. And it seemed to go off well, didn't seem to have a lot of issues. So I'm going to try it, and I promised them that I would provide them with some feedback. So I'm expecting to do that next week. And like I said, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. There's always a replay on YouTube. If you can't find it on Facebook, you can go to YouTube the next day or a couple of days and I upload it there. So until then, everybody, please take care of yourselves and each other and have a great holiday weekend. Bye-bye.